In a busy city, right next to a giant, modern building complex owned by a famous space company, lived a boy named Rohan. Rohan was 12 years old and lived in a small, old shack with his family, while the tall glass towers of the city and the shiny rockets being built nearby looked like a world away. Rohan was obsessed with them. Rohan's hands were always dusty, not from playing, but from working. He didn't have money for toys or kits, so he spent his afternoons collecting scrap metal, broken plastic, and discarded wires from the dumpsters behind the factories. He wasn't collecting junk, he was gathering parts. He dreamed of building things that flew. His current big project was a model of a reusable rocket, just like the ones he saw on the news. His rocket's main body was a smooth plastic water bottle. The engine nozzles were made from old PVC pipe pieces. The tiny landing legs were actually cut-up pieces from a broken chair. It wasn't perfect, and it certainly couldn't fly, but to Rohan, it was his masterpiece. One scorching afternoon, Rohan was hunched over his makeshift workbench and upside-down bucket in a quiet alleyway. He was intensely focused on soldering a tiny, flickering LED light onto the control panel, a piece of old computer board. He didn't hear the hum of the sleek, black electric car that pulled up near the end of the alley. A man stepped out of the car. It was Elon Musk. He was visiting the site to see the progress of a new engine test facility. He noticed Rohan, completely lost in his work, not noticing the important man standing a few feet away. Elon was quiet for a moment, watching Rohan carefully twist a wire. Rohan finally looked up, freezing instantly when he saw who it was. His eyes went wide, and he quickly tried to hide his plastic rocket model behind his back, embarrassed by his simple, scrapyard creation. Elon stepped closer, a warm, interested look on his face. "Hold on there," he said gently, nodding toward the model. "Don't hide your work. I like those landing legs." Very inventive use of broken furniture. Rohan, still shy, slowly brought the rocket forward. "It's nothing, sir. It's just junk. Everyone says I should give up and find a real job, that dreams like this are for rich people." Elon leaned against a wall, crossing his arms. He spoke slowly, making sure Rohan heard every word. "Let me tell you a secret, Rohan," Elon said. "When I started my first company, I slept on the floor in the office. I had nothing but a huge idea and a laptop. The money always comes second. The idea is the first rocket." He picked up a twisted piece of wire Rohan had discarded. "But you used it to connect a power source to a light. You didn't see junk. You saw a connector. That is an engineer's mind. You think this wire is junk, right?" Rohan looked at the wire, then at the bright blue LED now blinking on his control board. Elon continued, his voice firm and motivating. "Don't let anyone tell you your dreams are too big or that your materials are too small. I wanted to send people to Mars when people said rockets were too expensive and impossible to reuse. They called it crazy. The path from this small alley to Mars is the same. It's built one small, hard piece of work at a time. Every problem you solve here, finding a way to make a thin piece of plastic hold up a leg, is the same kind of problem we solve on a billion-dollar rocket. The scale is different, but the mindset is the same.
Before leaving, Elon didn't hand Rohan cash. Instead, he pulled out his phone and made a quick call. A week later, a delivery truck arrived at Rohan's shack. It wasn't full of money, but it was much better. It contained a small, easy-to-use 3D printer, a basic laptop loaded with free online engineering courses, and a note. The note simply said, "Keep building. Keep learning the rules." Rohan looked at the new tools. He still went out and collected scrap because he loved the challenge of using what others threw away, but now he had the power of modern technology too. He combined the knowledge from the computer with the resourcefulness of the alley. He started making stronger, smarter parts with the 3D printer, and he was finally able to test his designs. He realized the biggest gift Elon Musk gave him wasn't the material help. It was the moment the world's biggest dreamer told a poor boy with a plastic rocket, "Your mind is already good enough. Now, just go do the work." From that day on, Rohan worked not just with dust on his hands, but with fire in his heart. Knowing his idea truly was the most valuable part,